let us start with the new economics lesson. The name of the lesson is Economic System and the Problem of an Economy. In this session, we will study what is economic system and various economic system. Let us try to understand what is economic system. Economic system is a system of production, resource allocation and distribution of goods and services within a society. Now, what do you mean by this? It is a system of production. How much you are going to produce it. Resource allocation. How you are going to distribute the resources which you have produced within the society. Now, to do this, involvement is needed of the people. Now you have to involve some agencies, some institutions to plan out how much you are going to produce, how you are going to distribute it in that particular region. Now I will say that this full package is called as economic system. Now this economic system, if you want to, this economic system have three basic questions. Now, which are those three basic questions? What you are going to produce it, how you are going to produce it, and how you are going to distribute it, the output of the production. Okay. Now, if you want to start any business, now these are the three questions comes in front of you. This is nothing but economic system. This economic system are of various types. One is capitalist, socialist and mixed economy. Let us try to understand first what is capitalist. In capitalism, profit is the main motive and resources are owned privately. Now, individual or a group of individual is the owner in this sector. And what is the main motive? To earn profit rather than giving jobs to the people. Problems are solved through market economy. Now, what do you mean by market economy? Market economy deals with the prices of goods and services which affect demand and supply. And of course, it affects buyers and sellers also. Say for example, if there is any problem in your business, if there is loss, if there is profit, it deals with they solve that problem through market economy. Now, say for example, I would like to give you here one example. Say for example, if there is no demand for your particular product, say for example, if you are a car seller, if you don't have so much of demand, the company doesn't have demand, so it gives some offers. Say for example, if a car is of 10 lakh, they will give an offer saying that 2 lakh less price for that particular car. So 10 lakh car they will sell at 8 lakh, saying that there is an offer. But when they sell this at a less price, they will see their profit of course. But when you come there to take a service next time for servicing purpose, they will increase the price of that services. This is how they manipulate the market and they take their profit. One more example I would like to give here. When you go in the malls, they give some offers, okay, 10% free or 20% free for that particular product. Say for example, branded cloth. A t-shirt of rupees 2000, they will give an offer, they will say they are giving it for 1500. So 500 free. So this is how they manipulate the market and they attract the consumers. Okay. Now, let us see the next. Only those goods are produced which are in demand. So the main motive is to sell those products which are in demand. So the aim is to attract the consumers. They will not see their need, but they will see only rich people who can afford to buy their products. Okay, that is the main aim. Say for example, if you want to set up a big mall, you will not see a village area to set up your mall. You will see a big city. Okay, so the main motive is to give the luxury to the people rather than looking to their needs of the capitalism. Goods produced are distributed among the people not on the basis, see I have written here what they need, but on the basis of what people can afford or willing to purchase. So poor people of course will not will to purchase a 2000 branded cloth, isn't it? So the main motive is to earn profit. Poor people cannot enjoy because of inability to buy. So I hope this is understood. Let us see the next one. Features of capitalism. Now what are the features of this capitalism? Let us have a glance quickly. Private property owner, okay. Then price mechanism, as I said, they manipulate the market, loss and profit, okay. Sovereignty of the consumer. Authority is given to the consumers. Profit motive. The main motive is profit. No government interference. Government doesn't involve in their production process. Democratic, for the people, and self-interest. A private owner is should be interested in what business they are doing. Let us see the next. Socialism. Now what do you mean by socialism? It is purely public sector, okay, in a very simple term. In this system, resources are owned by the government owned asset, okay, and the main motive is the social welfare, is to see need of the people, for the betterment of the people rather than profit. But we have seen in the capitalism, motive is to earn profit. Here main motive is for need of the people, social welfare, for the betterment of the people. The government decides what goods are to be produced in accordance with the need of the country. So the very good example of this is railways, okay. So railways are purely owned by the government, okay. The services are given to the people, okay. There are many government firms also where mostly the motive is to give service to the people and to give, facilities to the people. Distribution is supposed to be based on what people need. Let us see the features of socialism now. No competition, there is no competition, whereas in capitalism there is always a competition, okay. Here there is no competition. Positive role of the government, okay. The government always see things on the side of the people. Maximum social welfare, okay. Jobs are created to the people, even facilities are given to the people. Work and wages according to their ability and need. So the people also get jobs here according to their ability, according to their need. Collective ownership. So the ownership is public people or public sector, we can say. Public people are responsible. No individual has an authority on this. Economic, social and political equality. There is no difference between rich and poor, okay. There is no difference on the caste, religion. So all people, whole country get together for a particular thing. So we call it as government sector, public sector. In your textbook, this word is given, socialism. Okay. Let us see what is mixed economy. It is a coexistence of capitalism and socialism. It is a mixture of capitalism and socialism. It refers to an economic system that combines one of three characteristics. There is a mixture of different features in this economy. Private sector or market will provide those goods and services which it can produce well in this sector. The government sector will provide those goods and services which the private sector fails to do. Now let us try to understand these sentences with the help of this next slide. You can see here features of the mixed economy. Some facilities which the private sector cannot afford, that facilities purely owned by the government. Very good example is of railways. Okay, you will not find anywhere railways are owned by some private firms or private sector. Railways are owned purely by the government. Okay. Why? Because there are many reasons. Because private sector cannot afford to give services at a reasonable rate to the people and so on. And putting up inputs or spending money becomes very it goes very high to the private sector. They cannot afford to put their money initially. So the government looks this railway of our country. Atomic material, especially uranium, thorium is used to generate this atomic energy. Of course, the government don't use this type of atomic energy for destruction, for the betterment of the people, but this is also owned by the government. Purely private, we have different examples. Here I have taken about toothpaste, beauty products. You will not find anywhere that these luxurious things which private firms own is taken by the government. So it is a private sector. The facilities are given to the people and the profit they take. Okay. Now there are some things which private sector cannot afford. So there is a combination of both these things. Like say for example electricity, roadways, airways, where there is involvement of both private and public. Say example I would like to give here of electricity. Electricity is produced by the private firms, but they cannot afford to give this electricity to the people at an affordable price. So the government takes that electricity from the private sector at the price which they afford to give them, private sector afford to give them, and then they give to the public at an affordable price. Okay. Now this mixed economy, especially we have in all over the world. In India also we have mixed economy where private sector are free to do the business, public sector are also involved, where public sector and private sector, where private sector cannot afford to produce some of the things, there in that case government step inside and help private sector and also give those products to the public sector at an affordable price. Okay. Next, let us see the features. They are mixed, as I said. Coexistence of private and public sector, mixture of both these things. Personal freedom is also there. Okay, as I said, public sector, when they step inside, they have their freedom. Of course, they have to follow rules and regulations of the government. Private property, they should have their private property. They want to set up any business, or they have to put some money in it. Economic planning. Economic planning is very essential so that they can earn good profit. Okay, so proper distribution, production, all this planning is very much essential in this mixed economy. Price mechanism. Okay, then you have control price. Okay, you cannot sell products at any price. The prices are controlled by the government or they have some rules and regulations to follow these. Profit motive is the main motive. Social welfare, for the betterment of the people, and control of monopoly power. There is no competition as such. Nobody can dominate. Okay, so I would like to say here that there is involvement of all this sector, but the authority is government in some part. Next, I would like to show here one video so that this concept will be clear to you. Okay, let us start.
In a market economy, economic decisions and prices are determined by market forces rather than by central planning. Market forces refer to the collective effect of all the decisions made by individual participants in the economy, such as consumers and businesses, according to their free will. A market economy is considered the opposite of a planned economy, where a central authority, such as the government or military, controls major aspects of the economy. In reality, there are no pure market economies in the world, and few pure planned economies. Most countries, such as Western democracies, are mixed economies. This means they operate partly according to random market forces and partly according to centrally planned rules and decisions. While theory states that a pure market economy uses resources and labor most efficiently, in reality, democracies have additional goals besides efficiency. These may include minimum levels of safety, education, opportunity, or health. To accomplish these goals, they introduce some centrally planned rules and regulations to guide the pure market forces. For example, the U.S. uses centrally planned forces such as food safety regulation, anti-discrimination laws, public education, and Social Security in order to distribute certain benefits more evenly than market forces would.
I hope this session was clear to you.